I've got a 5-pick underdog entry for you guys to tail with me right now. So when you are playing underdog fantasy pick'em, when you are playing prize picks, the strategy here is to look for plays that have the highest win percentage, which I know sounds fairly obvious, but that's not what you do when you are sports betting on a FanDuel and on DraftKings. You're looking for value. Well, when you're using these DFS platforms, value equals the highest win percentage. And using a tool like the Daily Grind Fantasy DFS Optimizer makes it really easy to find plays that are, for lack of a better word, likely to hit. You see the tool exactly on the screen here. In this column here, percent odds to hit is the important one. So I'll go through and talk through all 5 of my entries or picks for my entry today and why they are profitable and everything like that. But it's just important to understand the process behind Underdog and all of these DFS companies so you know how to be profitable on your own end. So the first play that we're going to go ahead and add to our Underdog entry here is Julio Rodriguez to go under his fantasy score, projected fantasy score, as you can see here, of 12. And reading it left to right, that's pretty much how you use the DFS optimizer. So the player name is exactly what it sounds like, the player who you're taking. The stat is what you are taking the over or under of. The O/U is telling you whether you're taking the over or the under. And then the underdog logo here is just telling you what the number is. So we're taking Julio Rodriguez to go under 12 projected fantasy points. Now, the reason why this is a play is because of these next 2 columns, the percent odds to hit and the odds under the DGF logo that you see here. See minus 172, minus 136, minus 134, minus 152. Basically, the way it works is DGF calculates what they deem to be the true line, the perfect line of a market, and then convert those odds to a win percentage. So this Julio Rodriguez one is really, really good, right? This is going to hit like 63% of the time. And based on how the payouts work on Underdog, you could take the over or the under for the exact same payout, right? We're not getting charged any extra juice for taking a play that has a high win percentage, which if you think about how the sports books work, that's not the case. DraftKings thinks this should be priced at minus 171. DGF has it priced at minus 172. That's where the win percentage is coming from. So you're paying a lot worse odds if you're to take this on DraftKings. But on Underdog, on a 5-pick entry, we're only getting the implied odds of minus 120, which is insane, which is why this play has value. So that's play number 1. Play number 2, Ronald Acuna Jr. to go under 12.5 fantasy points. It's pretty much the exact same logic here. DGF has the true line of this at minus 136, giving this a 57.68% win percentage. And as we can see right here, DraftKings has this also at minus 136. So these odds are pulled from a bunch of different sharp sportsbooks and a bunch of different sources. One of those sources is looking at where the other sportsbooks have it priced. So it's not surprising to see that the odds are similar to what DraftKings has. But the same exact logic, right? We could take the over or the under. We could take a play that has a 57.68% win percentage, or we could take the over that has like a 43% win percentage. And we're still getting, regardless, we're still getting minus 120 odds. So that is play number 2. Our third play is another fantasy score. This time we're taking Mookie Betts to go under 10.5. Again, the logic here is the exact same. DGF calculates this to be at about minus 134. As you see, DraftKings does as well, giving this a win percentage of 57.28. So the 3 fantasy score ones are, the logic for them is pretty similar, right? They're all highly likely to hit, so we're taking the under on all 3 of them. Next up, we're finally not taking a fantasy score. Our 4th play of the evening is Jacob Young on the Nats to go over 0.5 total bases. So DGF calculates this to be at minus 152, also with a win percentage of 56.75. Now, the reason why this one's a play, just look at where all the other sportsbooks price it, right? You can see the odds of how likely all these sportsbooks have this play to occur. And this is kind of the easiest way to understand why this is so valuable on Underdog, because just look across the board. Minus 128, minus 125, minus 165, minus 164, minus 170, minus 160. A majority of these sports books have this in the minus 160s up to minus 170, and the other 2 that don't still minus 125, minus 128. So again, we're getting the implied odds on Underdog, regardless of whether we take the over or the under, at minus 120. But all of these other sports books have it significantly higher, again, all the way up to minus 170. So this is kind of the exact situation you're looking for when you're using the prize picks, the DFS, the underdogs of the world, is plays where the sportsbook has them as very likely to occur, highly likely to occur, 56% win percentage. But again, because we're playing this on underdog, we're not getting charged any extra juice. So our fifth and final play of the evening is actually an esports one. We're taking Pride Stalker to go under 8.5 maps 1 through 3 kills. Now, the previous 4 examples were all examples of a pricing discrepancy, right? Pricing difference between underdog and the sports books. Well, this is an example of a line discrepancy. The reason why: underdog prices this at 8.5. The sports books price this at 7.5. So DGF gives this a 56% win percentage. But the most important thing here is, like I said, the difference between the sports books and underdog. Again, this is an example of a line discrepancy. Underdog is giving this to us over under 8.5. Well, the sports books have the over under at 7.5. So we can just use this information alone to determine that the under 8.5 is going to be a play because the sports books have it priced under 8.5. It really is as simple as that. And again, this is a line discrepancy where there is a line difference between the sports books and underdog, and then you take advantage that way. There's multiple ways where you can find value on underdog. Pricing discrepancies, line discrepancies are the 2 ways. So if you are riding with this 5-pick entry on underdog, comment and let us know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe to the DGF YouTube channel, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.